I've been told that sometimes I move my chair back and forth when I make these things, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. Hey, what's going on, Jordan? How's it going? Before we get too far into it, I just wanted to say that there's something in your last video that seemed really great. It seemed, I don't know why, it seemed like you were a little bit less burdened. And I know that probably seemed crazy to you since you were in the middle of study days. I don't know what to call it. I was going to call it study fortnight for a second, but that's clearly not correct timing-wise. I bet you wish it was. But anyway, you seemed like a happier man, an unburdened man. And maybe it was just a change of lighting. Who knows? But it was nice. And so it was nice for me to see. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So you recommended the American authors, and I'm not going to lie to you, I've listened to about half an hour of the American authors in the last week. It's just been crazy. But I really do like them, and I see what you're saying. They're catchy, incredibly catchy, and so that was really nice. Thanks so much for that recommendation. I'll definitely be diving back in this week and for weeks to come, so thanks. Yeah, I know that was really short, but there's just not a lot to say when all you do is listen to something for half an hour. My recommendation for you this week is going to be The Violent Femmes, and this is going with the theme of incredibly catchy music. The Violent Femmes are a great band that was pretty well known-ish in the 80s and 90s. And in particular, I'm going to recommend their album Violent Femmes, which is incredible. It is just a masterpiece of an album. I have a hard time pointing to another album from that time period that is as much of a singular masterpiece. Every track, from the first track until the last track, is just unbelievable in terms of its structure and in terms of how catchy it is and in terms of just how great the tunes are. Really, really good stuff. If you listen to it once all the way through, I guarantee you'll be a fan and you'll just keep coming back to it. Those songs, they stick in the brain like almost no other unit of music does, and they can be on the radio right now, and I can just find myself singing along to them. They're really, really great. The Violent Femmes did make other albums too, and they're all pretty good, and they have a couple of live albums that I've checked out, and they're also really solid. But it's that album, The Violent Femmes, which is just, that album in and of itself, it's almost like they're the Harper Lee of music, right? One masterwork, and that's all you need. You're cemented forever in the dear hearts and minds. So check it out. I'll be glad to hear what you think. So, yeah, I'm back, right? I'm back from my super secret location, and I can tell you that after all that buildup, that it basically was down to Maryland, to the headquarters of the Howard Hughes Medical Institute for their holiday lecture series. I don't know if Miss Green put on any of them for you last year to watch, but the Howard Hughes Medical Institute is a really great organization, and they bring in lecturers who are working with them. They're the biggest, or one of the biggest, funders of private medical research in the world. They have the entirety of the Howard Hughes fortune, and so they give that out to researchers, and they're called investigators. And they bring in their investigators once a year for these holiday lectures to talk to kids who are like AP level or honors level seniors in high school about the work that they're doing, and they bring in all sorts of interesting concepts. And I've actually been fortunate to attend for a couple of years now, and this year I was again invited to attend, and a bunch of teachers come, and we all work on developing curricular materials to go along with the lectures. It's a great opportunity. It's really, really a nice organization to work with, and it's great to see these researchers talking about what they are doing. The researchers that were here this time were both talking about how advances in the fields of genetics have really opened up their fields. One is a brain development researcher. He looks at autism and brain developmental abnormalities, and the other one is a cancer researcher, and he looks at just the role of various things in the development of cancer. And both of them have kind of pointed out how the sort of revolution in wide-scale sequencing over the last 5 years has really allowed them to do research that they wouldn't have even been able to do 5 years ago. And so it was really, really cool. And it was also really cool because they Howard Hughes makes these videos, and they showed one of their recent videos about the discovery of the double helix, and they invited this man to come and talk to all of the students, and I actually got to sit next to this man for a period of time and listen to him talk about what it was like to discover the structure of DNA and or those kinds of things. And you know, James Watson, he's got kind of a mixed reputation, but when push comes to shove, he is James Watson, and so it was a really, really nice opportunity to get to listen to him talk and see what he had to say about different things, however colorful they might be. It was definitely an experience, a singular experience, so that was a lot of fun. And then I came back, right? And so this was actually Science Olympiad week. We are now doing an invitational as well as going to Ward Melville in February. And so yesterday was actually the invitational at Islip High School, and we were there all day, and we had a lot of fun because you know how we do it, right? We keep it fun. And I don't know how we did because we had to leave before the awards because of the snow. But I'll find out how we did over the next couple of days, and the people on the team who want to know that kind of thing will know that kind of thing, certainly. And then we're going to get ready for February. Yeah, so that's it. I suppose you're on your way home, or you'll be home soon for the holidays. I actually am going to go closer to where you go to school, upstate, to visit the in-laws, and my dad is actually coming over, and we're going to hang out up there for most of the break, but I think you'll be home longer than I will be away. So let's make sure that we synchronize watches and get together for something or other. Maybe we'll have you over to the house for a meal. What does that sound like? Does that sound like something you're interested in? Let me know next week, and if that is something you're interested in, we can definitely make that happen, I'm sure. I think it's probably about time that you came over to the house and saw what was going on. All right, yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys have a happy holiday, and I hope that you enjoy your time, and I'm glad that your first semester is done. I'm sure it was victorious. I wouldn't expect anything less. And I look forward to seeing what you have to recommend next week and what your take is on the Violent Femmes. All right, man. Happy holidays. Take it easy.
Good feeling. Won't you stay with me just a little longer? But always seem like you're leaving.